Take 2. Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I tried already to start this video, and it was a mumbo jumble. I could not get the words out, so we're just gonna go with it and chalk it up to Mercury retrograde. Woohoo! So we're about on the end of it here at the time of recording this. So everybody, keep your fingers crossed. Keep focusing on paying very close attention to what it is that you're saying. We're all gonna get there, I promise. So with that, if you're returning viewer, thank you so much. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you, and it means the world to me that you're here supporting the channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel, so with that in mind, if the messages happen to resonate moving forward, it would really mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And it's a quick, easy, beautiful way to help out the channel. Today, I got a channeled message. While I was practicing yoga, actually, I chose to do a self-guided yoga practice this morning. It's been a while since I've done one for myself, and it's Thursday for me, and Thursdays are all about connecting with intuition. It is the day of connecting with Jupiter as well, the planet of luck. And yeah, I was working out and I was getting a good sweat going, and all of a sudden I just like zap got this pick a card idea coming in, and I was like, okay, that's kind of random, but it was secret information that you need to know right now. This is on the DL, so this is Source giving you a message so that you're not taken by surprise. That's what this is, okay? It's like, it can be confirming your intuition as well, like you're getting little hints and nudges about it, and this should be that confirmation for those little hints and nudges. Now, this could be regarding a situation, a person, a relationship, a situationship. It could be anything, okay? So keeping an open mind going into these. I chose the Soul Coaching cards by Denise Lynn because I felt like this would give us some good guidance as we move through the reading. Awesome. So with that being said, let's hop to our prayer and we will get your reading underway. Oh, all right. I already know the collective and Mercury retrograde this time around. It's been a journey. And I know you've heard me say it on previous readings this time. It's just been a journey for me too. So for those of you that it's been rough, hang in there. We're in this together. I'm reaching out and holding my hand out to you because I know it's been rough, okay? I know it has been rough. All right, my beloved Source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this channel or onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. Today you're giving us guidance on something that we need to know intuitively, or to help us reconfirm what it is that we've been feeling about something within. And I ask that you bring forth clarity for those who need it most in this time. Sometimes these messages aren't exactly what we are expecting, but they should always be what it is that we need for those of us that it resonates with. And sometimes that's difficult to know. Is this my message or is it not? And so for those that are in that state of uncertainty, I ask that you bring forth a very clear message as to whether or not this is indeed for them or if it's not. And reminding us all that as we walk this journey, we can open up to the love and the light as we move forward. And that even though there's difficulties in this life, and even though that there's hardships in this life, that we don't have to be bogged down by them. We don't have to be interrupted in our journey by them. We don't have to be worried about the outcome when it comes to that. But I ask that you make this clear as we go forth in this reading and wrap everybody here in love and in light, and remind them of how precious they truly are. As these words are spoken onto this reading and upon these people in my tribe, my fellow humans, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved Source. Thank you. So let me go ahead and get this set up over here. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and shuffle. Let's get some shuffling going. All right. So Source, what is the information that my fellow humans need to secretly know at this time? Information that they secretly need to know at this time, Source, for my fellow humans. Information that my fellow humans secretly need to know at this time. There's like a huge awakening that's coming as well, and I feel like this is going to help you reconnect with a deeper part of your essence. All right, Source, what is the secret information that my fellow humans need to know right now to not be caught off guard? You're obviously bringing this forth to make sure that they're not caught off guard by something or by someone. Okay, thank you. What is the information that my fellow humans secretly need to know? Okay, Source, for pile number 1, what soul coaching oracle card is going to help us better understand the information that pile number 1 secretly needs to know at this time? Whoa, too many cards. We're going to try that again. Too many cards. That was like a whole grip. What is the information that pile number 1 secretly needs to know at this time? Thank you, Source. All right, and for pile number 2, Source, what soul coaching oracle card is going to help us better understand the information that pile number 2 secretly needs to know at this time? What is the information that pile number 2 secretly needs to know at this time? All right. For pile number 3, Source, what soul coaching oracle card is going to help us better understand the information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know at this time? Thank you. That just flipped out so fast. All right. Our collective message, commitment. We've got number 10. This has been a long, hard, rough journey. You are so exhausted and so overwhelmed at times, and at times maybe even considering giving up, and that's understandable considering how far you've come. But also there's a sense and an element of celebration that's coming, that maybe you've heard this before already, like, oh, everybody says there's something to celebrate. Everybody says that there's something that's coming, but there really is. And it's because of your commitment to your journey. Remembering that nothing comes overnight, right? We have to remind ourselves constantly. The reason we commit is because it's through commitment and consistency that we grow and we can explore what it means to be successful through that commitment and consistency, rather than being overrun by, oh, well, I didn't show up, or this, that, and the other, right? We're knowing we're showing up. So eventually something has to break. And they're reminding me of the story. If you haven't read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, it's a great story. It's a great book. It's more than a story. It's just so many beautiful points put together, and there's 2 stories that they're reminding me of. The first one is this. He has a little excerpt of a story where there was a woman who wanted to be a Broadway star, and she was always going on, and she went and knocked on every door on Broadway, and she got a door slammed in her face all the time. And the moral of the story was not to give up, right? And reason being is because one day someone opened the door to her and she became more well-known than she could have ever even dreamed to become well-known. It was so much better than she ever even imagined, okay? The other is that Napoleon Hill writes about in the prologue how, I believe it was Andrew Carnegie, came to him and said, if you're willing to write this book, I will connect you with all the correct sources that you need in order to write this book that will change the lives of millions of people. It will show them the secret to what it is to think and grow rich. And he said, the thing is that you have to be willing to commit maybe 25 years or more to it. It could take longer. It might not take as long. But he asked Napoleon Hill, he said, are you ready and willing to commit that amount of time to changing your life and to writing a book that could potentially affect millions. And he, hands down, he said, yeah, of course, 25 years. Now, I'm not saying that all of you here haven't been on the journey that long. There's probably a couple of you that have been on the journey for that long. Many of us, though, have not been on the journey for that long. We've been on it for a decade, or less than a decade, or a little more than a decade, right? And we're sitting here like, what the heck, wondering why. The thing is that it's not about the time frame. We know we're going to get there, and we have to believe that our commitment to what it is that we're creating will actually get us there. We're not in it for the short-term, one-hit wonder success. We're in it for long-term stability, right? The mountain offers stability. It's a very grounding energy. Think about the mountain pose in yoga, and it's interesting because so many people feel like, oh, well, that's just a passive pose. You're standing there. Actually, mountain pose has the potential to completely correct your posture if you're choosing to be active during mountain pose. But so many people, once they get into mountain pose, they just relax and they're leisure and they're doing this and they're not actually working at the mountain pose like it's supposed to be. And that's where the power comes from, is doing the unknown, right? The tiny little adjustments that you make that no one else can see. The tiny little movements that you do that will greatly impact the overall outcome of this. And that's what it feels like is coming through with this commitment card, is sort of showing you that, and a reminder that the secret information that you need to know is actually something that you've known all along, and that's to stay committed to the path. You're climbing a mountain. We're climbing Everest, the life of Everest, okay? Or Everest is our life, right? People train for years and years and years to climb Everest, and not everybody makes it. Not everybody gets to the top. Not everybody survives. Not everybody is able to get to that moment where there's just you and heaven all together in that moment, right? But the few that do, their lives are changed. And the few, and those that don't, their lives are still changed. Do you think they'd be like, oh, I wish I never had done that? Even the people who may have lost their lives there, I can guarantee you, if they were still here and you asked them those questions, they'd be like, I would never trade it for anything, right? And it sounds morbid and it sounds really, you know, like, oh, like, why would we talk about that? But that's what it is. It's because you're dedicating your life to this shift. It's not about the outcome. It's about the shift. And can you commit to the shift, to the transformation, to the evolution, to the path, and to the journey, and know that that in and of itself is something that is worthy of celebration. So let's read this from the book. Wow, there's so much coming through with this card. Okay, let's read what this says. Commitment. This is a time to make the commitment, so stand tall, don't hesitate, and give your word. Keep your promise, and your word becomes the law in the universe, in your universe. Your soul wants you to know making a commitment is taking a stand, is declaring to yourself and the universe that you're unwilling to settle for less than excellence. It means that you keep your word, especially to yourself. Fear of doing this because you might fail sends a message to your subconscious that you are a failure. Of course, there's always the possibility that you might not succeed. But to hesitate because of fear instead of forging forward keeps joy and freedom at bay. So decide now. Any decision is better than none at all. The most important promises that you make are to yourself. Forgive yourself when you don't honor your word, and then, without shame, recommit yourself with passion and gusto. Your affirmation is, my commitments increase my joy and freedom. Wow. So that's what they're saying, right? And is it interesting that I was talking about Everest and talking about how some people don't make it, right? There's no guarantee that we're all going to be successful, but the guarantee is that we will learn the lessons, we can integrate those lessons, and we can become a more aligned version of ourselves because of those lessons. So if we look at that, we're already successful. We've already done that, and we're already doing that right now. I love this message for you. Flow coming out on the bottom, wanting to be seen. Going with the flow. Letting things naturally take their course and trusting that everything's going to work out. There's no need to force anything here, right? Don't try to swim upriver. We're not salmon. We're not trying to migrate here. We're trying to go with the flow. So let the river take you where it does. Let the river of life take you where it's going to take you. All right. So let me get this set up. I'm so excited. I found a Greckle feather. Well, I didn't find it. It actually came to me, and I was so excited. So I decided that I was going to use that in today's video because, yeah, so this is a feather of a Greckle. If you don't know what that is, they're these beautiful blackbirds. They're all over Texas. I actually think I've seen them everywhere in Ohio, Missouri. They're loud, they're proud. The males are absolutely insane, and the females are beautiful, right? They're brown. The males are all black and the females are brown, and the females are really, really brave and chatty, and they like to come, at least for me, I don't know, like I'll sit outside and they like to come and sit on the fence and chat with me, and so it's really cute. So I've been wanting a Greckle feather and I got one. So all right, for pile number 1 we do have Jupiter, and it was funny because we were talking about Jupiter in the prayer, but we have Jupiter here on this dice for you to choose from. We have the heart chakra jade stone. For pile 2, we have this dice with Venus on it. Wow, I got the hiccups. We have your Greckle feather. In pile 3, we have this dice with Uranus on it. Or we have this amethyst for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that, I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this dice with Jupiter on it, if you were drawn to this heart chakra jade gemstone or anahata, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on information you secretly need to know right now. If you didn't catch the intro, this is just information that's coming in on the DL to potentially confirm your intuition or any insights that you might have received. This could be in regards to a relationship, a situation, a job, family. It could be anything, so keeping an open mind as we go into this. I want to say thank you to anyone who continues to be a supportive part of the journey here with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this space and time with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently around here, so with that in mind, if the messages happen to resonate moving forward, it would really mean the world to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. It's a great way to support the channel. And let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is the information that you secretly need to know right now for pile number 1, source. what is the information that they secretly need to know right now? What is the information that pile number 1 secretly needs to know right now, Source? Okay, so we've got the 11th house, we've got Gemini energy, and we've got Mercury. A lot of air energy coming in here. So you could be a Gemini, an Aquarius, a Virgo. You could have Mercury highly aspect in your chart, Aquarius or Gemini highly aspect in your chart. Okay. Information you secretly need to know. You know, I'm getting like you're creating something online. And I know that's not going to resonate with everyone, but that's really what I feel here. This could also refer to a community of people that you're with, like a gathering of some sort of gathering, or, oh, I just heard, what is that? I don't play it, but what is it? Dungeons and Dragons? So maybe this is like some kind of guild that you're with or something like that. Okay, again, take it as it resonates. So these are the energies that are coming in right away. There's some kind of communication here that I feel like is coming to you, and we'll get more into whether that's positive or negative, or what is the actual information that's coming. But with both Gemini and Mercury energy coming out together with this reading, it very much feels like there is someone here who wants to talk to you, and they may have met you online, or they may be talking to you online, like you guys meet once a week and you mostly talk online, or you mostly talk over the phone, or like technology, you're using technology here. You created something together. And the information that you need to know is just, there's going to be communication coming in. Okay, and I feel like Source doesn't want you to be taken by surprise by this information, because it could be that when you're taken by surprise, you might not know how to respond to it, versus if you kind of understand what's coming, or if you know what's happening, then you'll be able to respond in a way that's more aligned with your highest good here. But it does feel like you're very agile and you adapt very easily to different situations. And I feel like this is something that you're going to have to be adapting to. So if this is a confession, right, we'll just put that out there. But if this is a confession, then it's someone that you meet with. If there's more than one person involved with that meet and greet, right, or that just meeting up every week or whatever it is when you see each other, then it's adapting to and now understanding that, well, hey, this person has feelings for me. Now I have to navigate that within this group setting. Or this could be someone that, if you're building something online, suddenly comes forward and is like, oh my gosh, I love you, I can't live my life without you, I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. And then understanding, like, how do I navigate that, right? And so I feel like that's what Source wants you to know. And I feel like Source is really going to really lean into that navigation rather than the exact communication that's coming in. Is I do feel like the exact communication that's coming in, they do want to keep it a surprise, but I just get this feeling already in my heart that Source really wants to help you navigate the situation as it comes through, and understanding what that is, right? We're getting secret information here. What do you secretly need to know right now? So the secret information that you need to know at this time, and this would absolutely entail that secret information, but this has to do with communication, either how you're communicating or how this person is communicating. Because it does feel like one person, it could be a group of people also. I'm getting like the number 3 coming through really powerfully right now. We're going to be using the Tarot Marseille today. We're really just going to dig in and see what Source wants to say. So Source, what is the information that pile number 1 secretly needs right now? What's the information that pile number 1 secretly needs right now, Source? Could have to do with family or regarding someone's family. Okay, thank you. What is the information that pile number 1 secretly needs right now? And remember, it could be anyone or anything. So I do hear Source saying you're going to know who this is involving or what this is about. So with that, what is the information that pile number 1 secretly needs right now, Source? information that pile number 1 secretly needs right now? Okay, one more. What is the information that pile number 1 secretly needs right now, Source? What do they secretly need? Okay. On the bottom, we've got, okay, interesting. Yeah, someone's gonna come through. This could be an ex with the Lover on the reverse on the bottom. Or, okay, so there's a couple energies here. This could be an ex. This could also be a dating service that you're using, and this is someone who's just trying to act smooth so that they can add you to their harem. Okay, like that's what this really feels like. This is someone who is either cheating on a solid relationship in their life, or they just want a quick hit it and quit it type situation. And I feel like maybe you've been navigating talking to someone recently, or like even if your ex came back in, they're like, oh, I've changed, and you're like, yeah, well, you know, I need to see it to believe it. And so maybe giving them that little bit of leeway is them talking in a different way, and it's all just a manipulation tactic. Okay, this is all just a manipulation tactic. Yeah, this is very superficial. It's nothing stable. Wow, look at all these cards in the reverse. The Magician, this is someone who's trying to trick you. They're trying to trick you. I feel like you know. Like, I feel like you've been definitely very cautious of this person, but the information that Source is giving you is that trust your intuition here, because this person is full of bull. Like, they're just full of it. And they don't want anything stable. They don't want anything serious. They just want to come in and they want to basically conquer you in a way and leave. Okay, so I am getting dating apps here. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, someone you're connecting with. This could be also like someone that you're with in, like if you're meeting up with every week and they're like, oh, I really like you. But what they want is, you know, a friends with benefit type situation. And hey, you know what? If you're cool with that, great, right? But I feel like most of you are not in this to have that type of energy back around you again. We've already gone through that. We've healed from those situations. We've healed from those soul contracts that we've created with people that we've slept with. And I feel like this is something that Source is just saying, like, this is energy that is, you're outgrowing. You're outgrowing it at an incredible rate. And you're aware of how people are showing up. And I feel like the minute that somebody hits you up on a dating site, or like if it's online, you know how, I swear, social media, that's why I don't like social media, because social media is like the dating site. Whether that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, especially Snapchat. Like, Snapchat is next level. People just be hitting you up just because they like your picture, and they think that, like, oh, I'm just gonna slide into your DMs and we're gonna have this conversation and I'm gonna get my one off and I'm gonna move on to the next person. And that's exactly how they're treating it. But that's the type of energy that we've got coming in here. Yeah, this person, okay, they're feeling pressure. This could, yeah, okay, so this is someone who watches you very closely. Look at all this air. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Libra energy here. We've got Gemini and Aquarius up here. Okay, so much air. This person, okay, hold on. I need a drink. Guys. Let me take a drink of water. Hold on. Okay, here's the thing. This person is all up in their head. They're up in their head. They got a lot of stuff going on, okay? This is someone who uses physical connection as a way to run away from their life. This is not someone who is healing. This is not someone who is trying to make a better version of life for themselves. They are literally using physical connection as a way to run away from anything that they don't want to deal with. They're having problems at work, they call a booty call. They're having problems at home, they call a booty call. They're having problems with their friends, they call a booty call. They had a bad day, they call a booty call. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna put this out there because it needs to be said. Whenever we get connected with people who are like that, and this is especially true for women, okay? Men too, you can absolutely get this energy as well, but I just want to talk to the women for just a second here. Women are the gateway. Men are the key, okay? And y'all know what I'm talking about, so hang with me. Okay, and if you don't, then you don't. That's okay. But women are the gateway, men are the key. And so, and even if you're in same-sex relationships, just looking at this as the masculine is the key, okay? Whoever has the more masculine aspects is the key. And whoever has the more feminine aspects is the gateway. But especially for the divine feminine energies here, whenever we open up the portal, the gateway to divine masculine or to masculine energy, and if that masculine energy is very hectic like this, okay, the minute that the masculine energy is relieved, goes through ejaculation or whatever it is, okay, so like they get it off, they have their moment, okay, when you're bumping pee-pees, okay, so like when this happens, all of that energy gets poured into the divine feminine, and she now has to transmute that energy that was never hers to begin with. Okay, now for masculines, you can absorb that energy, and the same thing happens, okay? Even if you get yours off, it doesn't matter, but you'll absorb her energy, and you'll be stuck transmuting energy that was not yours to transmute. Okay, and again, it doesn't matter if you are non-binary, if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, if you're straight, whatever it is that you prefer, this is someone who likes you. This is someone who wants to tell you that they like you. Their pressure, I also feel like they're going to pressure you as well. Like, hey, you know what, we should really hang out, or like, you need to do this for me, or you need to do this for me. There's a lot of pressuring energy here that's trying to get you to do what they want, and not what's necessarily in your best interest, because this is someone who only sees you as an object. Even if you guys are close friends, like they just see you as an object for their use that they want to manipulate to get to that level. Okay, and this is not someone this is not a monogamous person. If you're looking for monogamy and whatever it is that you practice or however it is that you feel about your sexual life, that doesn't matter here. But if you're looking for that consistent partner, this is not it. And even if you're polyamorous here, right, like this is probably not something you'd want to bring into a stable connection that you already have. Right? Because that energy starts getting passed back and forth between you and your partner that you're stable with and the people that you connect with in this way, okay? And remember, I'm not here telling you what you should or should not do. I'm giving you information that is energetic information, and it's up to you to choose what to do with it, because you have to choose what's right for you. If this is someone who is just very, very sexually active with many, many partners, they probably do not take that activity very seriously, and so they're probably not very safe, okay? This is someone who's literally looking for a quick fix in their life because they're so disconnected from their root chakra. So they get stuck in their mind, and the only way that their mind slows down for even a second is when they get their rocks off, okay? And that's why this person is not really healthy for you at this time if you're choosing a higher vibrational healing journey, okay? And if you're okay where you're at and you feel stable and you're like, no, I can totally handle that, again, your decision, right? You have to make the best decision for you. This is what Source is saying, though. This person is not who they're going to be claiming they are. This person has an ulterior motive. This person just feels like everybody's out here for them to conquer. And so once they start to open that door, they're going to start treating you a lot differently. And it might be better, but it really feels like it's going to be worse, like playing at your mind and making you doubt yourself. Okay? Wow. I don't really like this energy at all. Personally, I don't really like this energy. It's just, this is someone who's on a very low vibration. This is also someone who's very childish when they don't get their way, okay? The moon, yeah, satisfy emotional needs. You nurture yourself and others. You're a very nurturing presence in this person's life, where they've noticed how nurturing you are. And they want to take that, okay? They want to satisfy their needs, but not also at the same time taking into account that you have needs, right? Sometimes it's hard because there's these people who are like, oh, like I have to get what's mine, and they're not thinking that other people have their own needs that need to be met. And that's why we get a lot of really rough situations, really rough connections. Okay, so you're getting 2 of these. I wasn't going to take them, but I do feel like I need to. So on the bottom, yeah, look, we have radical self-love. Right now for you, pile 1, radical self-love is so vital to your journey. We can only receive the love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. Okay, this is going to be someone who agrees with you about everything. And then they're going to wait until they get an opening where it seems semi-sexual, and then they're going to pounce. And when they pounce, they're going to put so much pressure into that side of that. They don't want to get to know you emotionally. This person does not love themselves. Okay, and if you're working on the path of loving yourself, this is someone who's just going to tear you down. And that's something to take into account when you move forward, right? It's unfortunate, and I wish that wasn't true, but when you have people who love themselves and they connect with people who don't love themselves, it's too unbalanced, okay? It's just too unbalanced of an energy. It's not going to equal out. And if it's trying to equal out, it means that you have to settle and lessen your vibration to make the other person comfortable. That's what always happens, okay? We have Aramed and Matilda, and I think this is the first time this card has ever come out. It says, you are in need of rest and recuperation. It is only when cradled in the silence of a powerful being that you can achieve self-awareness and follow your soul path with divine clarity. Okay. There's a lot of loneliness that's rippling around the collective right now, and it's a ripple, okay? Like, it is consistently rippling. And the thing is that it feels like for those that aren't involved in a serious relationship, there's a want for a serious relationship, which is beautiful, right? That's fine. But it's almost like desperation at the same time. Like, I want it so badly that I'm willing to connect with people, even though you're not settling. But it's like you get to a point where you recognize that so few people are on the vibration that you're on, that at what point are you going to lose courage and commitment to your path of connecting with your one true person, whoever they are? No labels here, okay? We're not labeling anything, but whoever they are, whoever source has meant for you, okay? Not who we think it should be, but who source has meant for you. Whomever that is, if you get discouraged because you're meeting all these lower vibrational people in hopes of finding your person, eventually that takes such a toll on you that it's easy to start settling without recognizing it. And so that's what Source is saying here. There's no need for you to settle. I have something that is far more matched to your vibration. On the bottom, Pele, yeah, light your fire, right? You've come so far, right? You've come so far in healing and letting yourself shine. Light your fire. Don't dim your light because someone else is uncomfortable with you. Even a prospect, right? The prospect of having a connection in your life. It is not worth it. It's better to be alone by yourself, right? And let your light shine as bright as it can possibly be, than to be with someone and to dim your light, which you've had to heal from time and time again. Okay, so that's that emotional ego that you're overcoming. You're letting it go. You're saying enough is enough, right? And the emotional ego is always going to be there in the background. But it's how much belief we have in ourselves. Do you believe, pile number 1, that you're worthy of the love that you're asking for? What is your answer? Do you believe it? Because if you don't believe it, then that's healing that needs to be done for you to remind yourself that you're worthy of everything that you're asking for, right? And it's not what we want. It will always be what we need. That even a relationship, it's rarely ever what we want, but it will be exactly what we need. Okay, and so when we're trying to make people fit into our want, we're not allowing what we need to come through. And what you need to come through right now is just trusting that radical self-love is such a powerful place for you. Blame. Wow, I accept responsibility for my well-being. So there could be an essence here of blaming source for your journey. There could be an essence here of even blaming other people for where you're at. There could be this person coming in and blaming you for how they feel internally, right? And honoring where you're at. But also knowing that, you know, this feels very much like it's having to do with you, pile one, right? And this is a hard part of our journey to accept, that we have to say like, wow, I've really been blaming source, or I've really been blaming myself, or I've been self-mutilating, right? Like my energy has been self-mutilating because I feel like I don't deserve something better. And that's not true. You do. You deserve the best of the best. But it rarely often comes in the package that we expect it to come in. We have surprise that flipped over unexpectedly, another way and beyond imagination. So that's what I was saying, like source is giving you this information about who you're currently talking to or who's about to come in. They're not necessarily aligned with you right now. There's a surprise that's coming for you, and this is unexpected. This is going to come when you're least expecting it. And that's not to say like all of a sudden just, well, I'm least expecting it now. But if you're in that energy, then you're actually expecting it, right? And so you're going to know when you detach from the want, from the desire, and see it as it's okay for me to want this, but it's not okay for me to let this take over my life, which is what it feels like has been happening. And this is another lesson to that, reminding yourself that it's okay to let go. It's okay. Purify. Exactly. Clean up, sweep clean, empty, organize to purify. It's okay to let go. It's all right. All right, I'm going to get a love card, and then we'll call it good and check out what your other cards are. Whoa, okay, I guess you're getting two. Yeah, look, I can't. We have surrender, letting go, release, give up, and patience. So there's an element of wanting to give up coming in here, like, I just want to give up, and then I'm going to settle, and then at least I have somebody in my life. But that's not what Source has planned for you. Source has a fated meeting coming for you. This is a surprise, meant to be destiny, predetermined, and encounter. So there's something that's coming that's just beyond your peripheral that you don't see, that is much more aligned with you. And Source wants you to know, it's like, it's good to be cautious. Always be cautious, like taking care of yourself. Let people show you who they are, right? Yeah, Venus, give and receive love, find value and see beauty. Definitely having to do with love here with Venus coming in, but also the Venus energy talking about Venus is connected to the goddess Aphrodite. And Aphrodite, she was too beautiful to fall in love, right? She didn't really fall in love with anybody because she loved herself so much. And that comes back to this radical self-love. And underneath that, I can't make it up, we have enough. And then we have, look at this, distorted desires and presence of absence. Yeah, so there's this, the desires are distorted right now because of the absence of love, but really what you're seeking for resides within yourself, and that's the secret information that you need right now. And it might be irritating because you wanted something more, right? But at the same time, it's kind of one of those things, like when we open up to that deeper truth, we realize like, wow, I've been searching for myself all along, hoping that that would come in another package, but you are the package you seek. Forgiveness. Hurt blocks out our light. And we got the blame card that came out on the bottom of the deck, and this goes hand in hand with that. So forgiveness, coming into this place of forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving the situations that happened in your life. They're not who you are. They're a part of you, but they're not who you are, right? Holding on to those only keep us repeating those cycles over and over again, because they're saying that I can't let go of what happened. So because we can't let go of that, we identify with that. And when we identify with that, we keep inviting that back into our lives. So forgiveness is how we free ourselves from those situations so that we can begin to see things with fresh eyes. Accountability, exactly what I was saying, to take accountability for where you are. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others, right? Taking accountability for what you're going through. Like if you're in this state of blame, that's okay, right? No one's going to sit here and say, how dare you blame other people? Even though we might feel that way when people blame us, right? That's just being human. These are emotions that we're going to naturally experience in our lives. And it's just honoring that emotion and that experience when it arises. Mother Earth and Vita. All things are interconnected. Feel the deep peace and sense of connection that results from this knowledge. Everything that you've gone through has brought you to this moment. It's all connected to a greater purpose. It's all connected to something bigger than ourselves. But because our perception is so small, it's based on our own experience, what we're tasting, seeing, feeling, hearing, and experience in this moment, it's hard for us to see that everything is connected until we allow ourselves to step outside and we're on the outside looking in, right? Doesn't Rascal Flatts have a song that says that? I'm on the outside looking in. I think Rascal Flatts has a song. It's either Rascal Flatts or Lone Star. There's a song. It's the outside looking in. I can't remember the lyrics right now, but it just came in. So yeah. Oh, look at this. Avalon Priestess, intuitive awakening. And we've got the moon coming in. She's got it on her forehead, and she's got the moon, the same moon, the crescent moon in the back here. So there's this energy of opening up to your intuition. You are in the process of doing that. Of course, you're already incredibly intuitive, and our intuition is a muscle. So when we're constantly working with it, it's constantly growing. Right? There's no cap on our intuition and how much that can open and grow for us. So when we have an intuitive awakening, though, this is saying that this is a part of your journey in awakening process where now you're coming into understanding and more or less an inner standing of where it is that you're standing at and why maybe you're calling in these types of energies, whether that's knowingly or unknowingly. More than likely it will be unknowingly, but you know, again, sometimes we could knowingly call that in. Failure. Wow. Didn't we have failure come out on one of them? I swear that came out. Oh, no. You know what that came out on? The collective reading. It came out, the energy. It says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, right? There's no need to beat yourself up for what you're experiencing or what you're going through. Rather, see what it's here to teach you and learn from that. Seagull, we have cunning, perseverance, fearlessness, survival, and freedom. So Source wants you to come back into this place of freedom, realizing that you are very you have perseverance. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. You have perseverance, and you are incredibly powerful. And you're very witty as well, and reminding yourself of that, especially with the Gemini energy we have coming out. Geminis are incredibly witty, like super witty. And even if you're not a Gemini, you're still and just very witty here, and reminding yourself that coming back to that cunning energy and that intelligence, you will know how to move forward with this situation. So this could be someone who wants to connect with you through music, musician, snake charmer, harmony, and melodic, or you may share songs back and forth with this person. And then we have marriage. Okay, interesting. Wedding, marriage, forever the one, and union. What Source is saying is that there is a person that is your one. We have that. It's something that's meant to happen on your journey, but there's no need to rush it. And it doesn't matter how old or how young you are. None of that matters. What Source is saying, like, it will happen when it is meant to happen for you. Are you willing to be patient and allow things to unfold as they're meant to? So we're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. What do we've got? Beginnings. Wow, look at this. It's time to fly away. It's time to fly away into your new life. 7 is a very spiritual number. It's also talking about luck. You chose the pile with Jupiter on it as well, right? Jupiter is the big planet of luck. And 7 is, for me, it's all about luck if you change what it is that you're doing. right? That's why it's so important for us to take accountability for ourselves and our actions and our thoughts and our feelings, because no one else will do that for us. And it's hard because we want everyone else that we meet to take accountability for where they're at. But we also have to ask ourselves, how can I ask someone to do something that I myself am not willing to do? So just opening up to that accountability will help you begin to see this with eyes of love. And when you see this with eyes of love, you'll have that reconnection with your intuitive knowing. So it says, a new cycle is beginning in your life. Wipe the slate clean. It's now time to release the old and start again. So don't keep doing what you know doesn't work. It says life goes in cycles. In the phases of the earth, the plants die in the fall so that there can be new birth in the spring. It's a universal dance of death and rebirth. There's a time to end and begin. This is the close of one cycle and the beginning of another. Although it's often difficult to release familiar routines, situations, or relationships when they no longer empower you, your soul asks that you not cling to the old, but set sail into new waters. Face your fear, allow yourself to stretch in a new direction. Your soul is at your side, and wonderful opportunities will be born in your life. Wholeness occurs when you can say yes to both endings and beginnings. Your affirmation is, I cherish all the cycles in my life. I love this for you. Yeah, so letting go here, just letting go of the old and allowing the new to come in for you will really help you navigate what's about to happen. There's someone here who's going to come in with communication. And no matter what, at the end of the day, pile one, trust your intuition. Regardless of what was said on this reading, regardless of what's said on other readings, at the end of the day, no matter what, trust your intuition and trust that whatever decision you choose is what's right for you in that moment. And that's okay. Even if it leads you down a bumpy road, you were meant to go down that road, and that's all right. Okay? So this is what I see here for you today. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little balloon emoji down below and say, I cherish all the cycles in my life. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I would like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this powerful message. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Venus on it, or if you were drawn to this Greckle feather, if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on secret information you need to know right now. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anyone new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And we do things completely differently around here. So with that in mind, if the messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. It's a great way to support the channel. And as we get into it, let's see, what is the important information that you need to know? I do quickly want to mention that this could be regarding someone, a situation, work, family, anything. And I did also get a channeled message for you, pile number two, now that we're getting started. It had to do with something about a contract that was being broken, and that this caused a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. So there's either that's coming, or this is something that happened recently where there's a broken contract. And this felt deeply wounding to you, and it felt like a broken heart. So it could be a divorce, it could be a separation of sorts. something that might have taken you by surprise, or something that didn't take you by surprise, but that doesn't necessarily make it any less heartbreaking, right? So this is what this really feels like we could be getting into, but it could also be a business contract. This could be some kind of inheritance contract with the family, like maybe the will was changed. This could be a financial contract also is coming in. So whatever that is, whatever kind of contract you've got going on, that's what this feels like it's in regards to. Okay, so source, for pile number 2, what is the information they secretly need to know right now? What is the information that pile number 2 secretly needs to know right now? Okay, we got Venus coming back out. We've got 3rd house here. We've got Venus and Virgo energy coming in. Yeah, so, you know, with the 3rd house, this is something to do that maybe you expected since you were a child. Or you dreamed about since you were a child. You've worked incredibly hard on this. You've put forth a lot of energy and a lot of effort to this, and it does feel like things are destabilizing here. Like there's a sense of things not being exactly what you thought that they would be or how you thought that they could be. I do also feel like there's slander and gossip that's flying around you right now, and that could come from the person on the other side of this contract. There's a lot of talk in the wings about you, and that's affecting you, and realizing that you have to choose yourself in this situation. But I do feel like Source is bringing out here that there was a lot of expectations between you and this person, you and this situation, you and this job, whatever it was like someone had really, really high expectations for you, but never vocalized those expectations and just said to do with what you had, and you did, but it didn't meet their expectations, and there's no way that you could know. Like this really feels like a being blindsided by it, right? This is something that's coming up that like you didn't feel would be this way because you put so much of your love, your heart, and your creative energy into this. And this is how you're wired to think. This is how you're wired to learn and to express yourself. And for some of you, this could be regarding a labeled relationship, but I'm not going to dig too deeply into that because we're trying to take the focus off of the labeled relationships and bring them back to ourselves, right? That's really the ultimate goal of any labeled relationship. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. That means it's not for you, but that is for someone here that needs to hear that. There's this energy that's coming in that having this opportunity, this connection, or this situation unfold was definitely something that humbled you in a way. And I do feel like there was an element of excitement around this, something that you felt was going to bring stability, and something that you felt was going to bring freedom, like maybe financial freedom or freedom of life as well, just freedom to enjoy and to have pleasure and fun again in your life. And now that it's feeling like it's breaking apart, like it's breaking your heart, because it's like, I just put so much of myself into this. Like, how could it fall apart in this way? But you're not going to have to begin again, I feel like, is the main lesson here too, because you're gaining experience. You've gained experience going through this process, and that's powerful for the journey. Even though it's difficult to have situations fall apart like this, let's get some cards on it and see what else Source wants to say here. So Source, what is the information that pile number 2 secretly needs right now? I feel like Source doesn't want you to be blindsided, but there is an element of a new fresh start here. Yeah, and my left eye is tripping out. Not wanting to receive what you're seeing, like not wanting it to be true, not wanting it to be so, wanting it to be something else, wanting it to have success. It could very well have to do with family. Okay. A lot of unwanted attention. Yeah, gossip is coming back through again. And knowing that there's gossip about you, and just like maybe you've been standing up for someone that you didn't think was capable of gossiping about you, and they are, and you're like, wow, yeah, this is someone who has tricked you. And please, you know, pile 2, like, don't be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not, you know, like, how could they trick me? Like, how did they do that? Like, this person is just really good at manipulating people. Okay, this person, they are very intuitive at finding the weak points and exploiting those in people. And unfortunately, you were a target for them. Not that it was personal, it was just you were next on their list. And if it was family, it was just because they didn't have anybody else to go and put that energy towards, it feels like. What else do you need to tell pile number 2 source? What's the information they secretly need to know right now? The 9 of Cups, yeah, happiness. Like, a part of you felt like this could always be happy. Like there was a potential for you to both work together and to have good luck. And to, you know, find that stability coming through here, yeah. Having good luck here, but look, it's all falling apart, yeah. An essence of being able to work together, but now we're getting torn apart, or it's falling apart. It's not, something is breaking down. And this also feels like, you know, going to an institution that helps break contracts. So, you know, before a judge or a lawyer. With the House of God, there's just this energy where it's like it was never meant to be, but it taught you something about yourself. And sometimes that's not always, like, it doesn't always feel good to hear, like, oh great, I had to go through this really difficult situation, excuse me, just so that I had to learn something about myself. But it taught you something that you needed to know. Yeah, this person has greed. This person is very, very disconnected. Or this situation, this could be a job situation too, like a dream job that you had. But the people who are involved in it just... So it feels like maybe a contract for employment, also like of, like if you're an independent contractor. Right, so this is like someone giving you a lot of hope, but then all of a sudden feeding you a lot of, yeah, injustice. Oh my gosh, okay, so justice in the reverse, and yeah, okay, that's exactly what I was feeling, like someone giving you a lot of hope with the Knight of Cups here. A lot of just feeding you a lot of lines, feeding you a lot of different things, like, oh, you know, we'll do this, or we'll do that, or we'll experience this, or we'll experience that, or you're gonna make this amount of money, you're gonna make this amount of money, and then you're getting bled dry, basically, you know. And they're over here saying, oh, the reason that I'm struggling is because of pile 2, or the reason that I'm having such a hard time is because of pile 2. Like, they thought that they were going to be able to use you to gain an advantage in their life. Wow. And you've put a lot of energy into this. Whatever this is, you've put so much energy into this. Like, I feel tired for you, pile 2. This is someone who tells everyone that what you're doing is actually what they're doing. So this is someone who's very much in a bigotry type of mindset. It's like, I'm going to put all the blame on pile 2 and tell everybody that pile 2 is being lazy, or they don't work, or they don't learn what they need to, or that they're not doing anything that's beneficial for me or the company, or for me and the family, or for this household, or whatever the situation may be. And the reality of the situation is everything that they're sharing or gossiping about with other people actually is a direct reflection of themselves. So, you know, there's that line in that Pitbull song in Blake Shelton where, what is it? I can't remember the name of the song. But it's the two of them together, and the last line in that song says, I tell the truth even when I lie, right? So they're lying, but they're telling the truth. It's just they're lying about who that truth pertains to. And that's what I'm feeling, especially with the Magician and the Justice card here in the reverse. Like, it just feels like this person is really good at convincing people that they're the victim, or the situation has been painted in such a light that it's like it has such a great marketing, or it has such great advertising, or it has such a great backing, right? So whatever it is, it could be an institution again. And it's like you can't go up against the name of this person or this institution because you don't have the same connections that they do. And it feels like an uphill battle. So it's like you're fighting it by yourself. It's a very lonely fight. This is a very heart-wrenching fight as well. And what Source is saying, the information that you need to know is just to trust that all of this is happening, and that Source, I feel like, is coming in saying, I'm fighting so many battles for you that you don't even realize or recognize. And that's why they're keeping you away from the mass majority of what's being said about you. But this does feel like a lot of gossip here. This does feel like a lot of ruthless and cruel words being said about you and who you are, what you bring to the table, or what this person is saying that you're lacking in bringing to the table, which we see is not true. You're a very abundant person. You're very capable of creating a unique future for yourself, but this person is very threatened, or this situation is very threatened by the energy that you bring in, because it will nullify the very foundation that has been built, that is so unstable. It is built upon lies. It is built upon deception. It is built upon pulling the wool over people's eyes for so long, and you're seeing through the cracks. And what you're seeing, you're recognizing is not very beautiful. And so the information that Source is giving you is that keep trusting your intuition here, and keep trusting that you are a good person, and that you have so much to offer, and that you don't have to be perfect in order to be accepted, which is what some people might have you think or believe. But that is so far from the truth. You are accepted in this moment, and you are so lovable in this moment. And I feel like that's very hard for you to believe at times, Pile 2, because of all the hardships that you've been through, or because of all the misaligned connections that you've had in your life. And this is Source coming in and reminding you that there's something greater for you. There is true happiness out there for you. There is something that's incredibly fulfilling. But right now your focus is on a very upsetting situation, right? You're also being represented by the Knight of Cups here. You could be a Scorpio, or Scorpio highly aspect in your chart. You could have Libra, Aries, Mars, Pisces placements highly aspect in your chart. Uranus and Aquarius is coming through as well. So there's this energy where your focus is on giving to this situation. It's like this is a situation that's right in front of you. But what Source wants you to do is to find your fulfillment, find your happiness. And sometimes that starts, Pile 2, by drawing our energy away from where we've been putting so much time, energy, and effort. And I know that feels uncomfortable, because it's like, but I've put so much effort into this. Why do I have to pull away my energy? But the minute that you pull away your energy, the minute you're going to start feeling vitality come back to you, and a sense of energy and purpose. And when you can put that energy that you're receiving once again back into things that feel good for you, you know, working out or taking better care of your health is something that's coming through here. Or focusing on doing something that is fun for you, you know, finding an element of fun in your life again, tuning into meditation, tuning into music, right? Dancing, singing, laughing, finding something that is like comedy related, whatever it is that really makes you feel good, or like you can smile again, pouring back into that. And I feel like this came up not too long ago in another reading, but it's coming up once again. And you might have actually saw that other reading. And I honestly couldn't even tell you what reading it was, Pile 2, because it's been, I just can't. I can't. That's too many readings ago. But it's saying, when was the last time that you laughed? And when was the last time that you smiled? And really laughed and smiled. Right? Not because it was expected of you, not because it was like, oh, well, everybody else is laughing, so I should laugh too, but something that's like a butt gust, like a butt gusting, oh my gosh, a belly busting laugh. Exactly. Like just that moment where it's something that's so silly and you can't handle it anymore, and just laughing, because I feel like when you laugh again, you're going to realize, wow, this has really been depressing me, this situation. Is it heartbreaking? Of course it is, right? We're not trying to invalidate that for you. That's never what we're trying to do. Sometimes it's just acknowledging that, yeah, this is a heartbreaking situation, but I deserve better. I deserve to be appreciated, to be respected and recognized for who I am and what I bring to the table. And if this situation, this person, this place, this thing, whatever it is, situationship doesn't do that, then you have every right to go and seek something that is going to be far more aligned with you. So let's see what else comes out. Wow, it was a lot that came through for your reading already. All right, Source, what else would you like to tell pile number 2? This card here. Okay. On the bottom, look at that. We've got the Sun again. So self-express and embody the truth. And you got the Sun behind the 9 of Cups here, both in the upright. Right? So we're trying to help you bring your attention onto other things here, but you're really focused on offering to the situation. And there's nothing wrong with that, pile 2. Like there's no one here that's scolding you or that's trying to make you feel bad about that at all. It's just reminding yourself that you deserve to focus on the things that bring you happiness and contentment and that make you feel good about yourself. Like, if a situation is not making you feel good about yourself, then why stay, right? But sometimes it's hard for us. We still stay in those situations because we don't know how to ask for more, because we don't believe we deserve better. We have circles with number 34. Clarity begins in the eye of the storm. So going around in circles, this is a cycle that's been in your life for a long time. And so we have clarity begins in the eye of the storm. So it's only going through these difficult situations, facing them, that you're going to find clarity on how to move forward for yourself. Yeah, look at this. Wow. What was I saying? A breaking heart. Look at this. Weeping wound. You are not your wounds. This is something that's happening in your life, but it is not who you are. You're so much more than this situation, right? But we have a tendency as humans, we have this tendency to identify with the things that are happening in our life. Like, oh my gosh, my life is falling apart, so I must be falling apart. Like, my life is really hard, so I just must be destined to live a hard life. Like, we begin to identify with the situations and things that are happening, and we end up diminishing our divinity and our light because of that. So yes, this is something that's painful. Honoring that it's painful, but reminding yourself that you are so much more than this situation. You're a beautiful, bright, elegant soul that's here to express, right? We have the Sun energy, to express and embody your truth. What wants to peek out? Metamorphosis here. With power and strength lie within our surrender to change. So it's time for you to embrace this change, to heal yourself, okay? Look at this. She's covering her heart with these ivies. Okay. And then here her heart has been, it's like heart surgery in this card, right? She's crying tears of blood. Like, this is very difficult energy, but through that, the metamorphosis can begin. And we have 11 here, which is talking about a spiritual transformation or an awakening. And then we have 8, which is dealing with our karmic wounds, our karmic cycles in our lives. But also, once we face our karmic cycles, 8 represents the abundance that comes when we face those. All right, so what else would you like to tell pile number 2, Source? Flying out, we have Archangel Raphael making an appearance here, and Tobit with Raphael has spoken. My name means God heals. I love that confirmation so much, Source. Thank you so much. And it says, and I am sending you my light. You will receive the gift of divine order on every level. So not only is healing coming in, but divine order is coming in. This is divine intervention. Source coming in and saying, like, no, I need you to move. I need you to focus on you at this time so that you can reconnect with that divinity within. This has definitely disconnected you from your self-worth, your self-value, seeing yourself as lovable, worthy, and deserving. And sometimes situations do that to us because they're so heavy and because we're holding on to them, because we don't know if we'll ever find anything better than the hardships that we're experiencing right now. That's a part of human existence. We have to remind ourselves that it's only through surrender and letting go that we can ever actually invite in different situations. So on the bottom, look, in Archangel Zadkiel, and I have a story for you real quick. Let me read this card. We have Zadkiel and Gratzalu. With the time for being passive and accepting begins now. Let go of all desires. That's surrender, right? Be patient and prepared. The right moment will come. Everything has its time. So I'm going to leave this out, but I just want to mention something really quick from a personal note, okay? Zadkiel is the archangel that I worked with when I was dealing with my very abusive ex. And he was really difficult to live with. He was really difficult to be around. He was a narcissist and physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually abusing. And just, it was very overwhelming for me. And I'm going to tell you how powerful it is to work with certain archangels. And I came across Archangel Zadkiel, and the message was plain and simple. In fact, I believe I read about him in Rebecca Rosen's The Spirit Within book. She's a powerful psychic medium. She has a beautiful book. There's the Awakening of the Spirit, I believe, is one, but The Spirit Within is the book that I first read from her. And she said to ask Archangel Zadkiel for help when you're dealing with a difficult situation. And I remember it was Thanksgiving, and I had prayed to Archangel Zadkiel because my ex and I were fighting, and went to stay with a friend, and he was accusing me of cheating, and I was with a girlfriend, and it was a really bad situation. When I came home, he was verbally abusing me. When I came home, he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and we lived with other people at the time, and it got so crazy that all the other people left. Even though they had nowhere to go on Thanksgiving, they left the house. And I remember sitting on the bed, and I just heard this whisper, and it said, "Enough." And that's all it said. And it was enough for me to say, barely above a whisper, "I can't do this anymore." And he was screaming, but that whisper was loud enough for him to stop dead in his tracks. And the power behind that, I was so scared to say enough is enough. I was so scared to leave that situation, even though I knew it was toxic, even though I knew I deserved better, even though I thought, like, there's gotta be different people out there who don't treat me like this. But for whatever reason, it was like, even knowing that, I couldn't convince myself that I could get better than him. And I feel like with Zadkiel and Raphael both coming in to help you today with this, they're saying that you absolutely will have something better. Wow, that was the most difficult decision I have ever made in my life. Let me tell you, Pile 2 is also the best decision I ever made, because it taught me the steps and it put me on the path to learning self-value, self-worth, and self-love in a way that I have never known in my life, and in a way that continues to grow each and every day. Because it is a journey. Love is a journey. We're not looking to fall in love with someone overnight. We're not looking to fall in love with ourselves overnight. We're looking to love ourselves for the rest of our lives. It's the journey. So embracing that journey and moving into that journey with a clear mind and an open heart is the only way for you to see the value of yourself, and that you are already loved deeply by the divine. Okay? All right, so let's see what else comes out for you here. Wow, this is such a powerful message. All right, thank you, Source. We have Oma, and this is Oma. That's how you say his name. We have watch your words. Okay, so with Oma coming in, it's reminding yourself not to beat yourself up, right? The bully inside. And I actually believe today on my channel, I posted a post that was talking about that, you know, being unkind to yourself does not make the world a kinder place, or something like that. So you can definitely check out that post if you feel called to it. But it's talking about how we sometimes let the bully within us win, We let the voice that's internalized, that we've internalized since we were children, we let that voice convince us that this is as good as it gets. This is the only thing that we'll ever have, or we're going to leave this situation and we're going to create an even worse situation in our life. We're going to let go of this situation, but then the next situation is going to be something that we'll never recover from, right? So watching your words and watching how you're talking to yourself is so important at this time. And it is going to help you remember that if you're hearing the bully within, right? Tell it to stop. Stand up to your inner bully. The same way that you would want someone to stand up for a kid that's being bullied. Stand up to that bully in yourself. Because if you don't do it, look, pile 2, no one else can hear your thoughts. No one else can hear what's going on inside of your head. So no one is going to come to your rescue. You have to do that for yourself. And it doesn't take much. But sometimes just picturing a stop sign. And then after you picture the stop sign, saying things like, I am lovable. I am amazing. I am worthy. I am deserving. I'm magnificent. I am capable. I'm growing. I'm expanding. Even if you don't believe these things right now, it's not about believing them right now. It's about shifting the way you talk about yourself so that that bully grows smaller and smaller until the spirit steps forward and takes precedence in this moment. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get a couple of these out for you. What else would you like to say today, source, for pile number 2? Okay, seed. Yeah, interesting. We have seed with nurture, great growth, potential, and possibility. So planting new seeds. The soil is fertile for new seeds, for new harvest. Wow, look at this. And then you have the wheat harvest that's going on in this card with the countryside. Agriculture, irrigation, harvesting, and rent. Wow, I can't. So there's going to be a new harvest for you. Yes, you put forth so much energy, time, and effort into this situation, but there's a new harvest around the corner, around the bend, right? Just around the river bend, I look once more. This has been a part of your test, if you will, if you want to look at it that way. But really, this is the school of Earth, right? The Earth is a school for us to learn about ourselves and about how to defend ourselves and become stronger, more capable versions of ourselves. And we have to let go of that weak-minded bully that reminds us and keeps telling us that we have to be small, right? So that's what I feel like this is for you right now. And Source doesn't want you to be blindsided by this. They want you to remember that you are loved, you're held, and you're supported, and to trust in that support that you have from the spiritual team. Oh, I love this. You got the imagination card. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So this is not creativity. Whatever this is, whoever this is, okay, this is not using your creativity to its full potential. It's stifling you in various ways here. So what Source wants you to do is to focus back on your creative self, okay, your creative energy. Focus back on love, loving yourself. I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things, right? Even the hardest things that we've gone through. Like, I think back on that, why I told you about that situation now is making more sense, as Source is saying here. And look at how both these cards are the same color as this Zadkiel energy here. This is connecting with the crown chakra and trusting that the divine will give you the answers that you need when you need them. But the interesting thing is when I look back on my ex, no matter how difficult that situation is, I'll forever be grateful, because up until that moment when I said I can't do this anymore, I never knew how to stand up for myself. I never knew how to speak my mind. I literally let everyone else decide how my life should be lived until that moment. And so I will be forever grateful, even though that was the worst time in my life, and even though I did not recognize the person that I was. It also taught me that just because I didn't recognize myself then didn't mean that I couldn't get back to myself, and that I couldn't become something that I always wanted to be in my life, because I'm the person now. Standing up for yourself is scary in a world that tells us to comply and to conform. But to stand up for yourself is the rebellion. To love yourself is the rebellion. It's the small steps. So pouring into your imagination will help fuel that rebellion within. All right, so let's see what else comes out here for you. And just remembering that you're not alone. We have air energy. Yeah, take a bird's eye view. Exactly. Take a bird's eye view. This goes hand in hand with the love energy. Didn't I say focusing on your health? That might have been pile 1, but I am getting the health card. I feel like I said that at some point in your reading. Focusing on your health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So that came out underneath the love card. Interesting. But I do feel like these two go hand in hand. Just seeing this from a bird's eye view, rather than being so stuck in the what's right in front of you, seeing it for what it is. Like, what is it bringing you? What is it teaching you? How can you move on from this, right? How can you become stronger because of this situation? How can you use it as fuel? Venom of doubt. Wow, I'm not surprised that this came out, actually. It says you will encounter deceptive information that could poison your decision making. We're talking about these people or this person's very deceptive. Seek truth. Rely on verified sources, including your spiritual team. Okay, on the bottom, we've got glittering debut. Woo! You will soon be center stage. Capture the crowd's heart. Engage passionately. Avoid passivity. That's what I was saying, right? Like, have your own voice. Give yourself that opportunity to let your voice be heard. I'm trying to close the blinds a little so that we don't get blinded. What a funny name, blinds. I never actually stopped to think about that before, but if we don't close the blinds, we get blinded. So is that why they're called blinds? I don't know, some weird stuff. Look, oh my gosh, we got Jupiter. What? Okay, I can't. Grow and expand. Wasn't your dice Jupiter? No, your dice was Venus. Okay, my bad. Your dice was Venus. But we're talking about that growth, right? Like growing and expanding and allowing yourself to see things with that fresh perspective, allowing yourself to see things from a different point of view will help you to replant those seeds. And we're saying that that's a very fertile ground for you right now. You've done a lot of work. You've cultivated a lot. But that doesn't mean you have to hold on to old situations for fear that, oh my gosh, I'll never harvest something better. Sometimes a harvest goes bad because of bugs or weather, a drought or whatever, right? It's okay. Yeah, it's a lot of work that we feel like, oh my gosh, like I put all that work into this and that crop's bad. But you know what? You put all that work into it. Now you know what to do next time. Stand your ground. Yes. Okay. So this is all about you being able to speak your mind in a safe way for yourself, but to show that I don't have to just roll over and take what everybody's giving me. Right? And let me tell you, the first time you do it, if you haven't yet, it's exhilarating. Okay, it's exhilarating. It gets easier after you do it the first time. But reminding yourself that you deserve to be seen, you deserve to be heard. And if these people or the situation isn't hearing or seeing you, you deserve to move on to a situation that will appreciate and respect you. 11th house, build your community. Yeah, so connecting with people who see you as you are. You could have also come from pile number 1, which is perfectly all right, or you might have been drawn to pile number 1. There's never a need to watch more than one pile, but if you feel called to, please feel free to. Mirror of reality. Reality mirrors what you see. Not what you see, but what you understand. Reflect to perceive the real. Reflection brings clarity. Okay, so, and we were talking about that with the circle, right? Only clarity can be found through the storms. So reflecting on what's going on outside of us, right? That's why when things are chaotic, when things are very difficult outside of us, we have to go within. We can't sit here and stick and hold on to the outside world, even though it's so easy to get caught up in, right? We have to go within and learn that what is going on internally that's this mirroring back to me. Am I treating myself the way that I'm being treated? Am I believing in something that's not real, right? Is that venom of doubt taking over here? Am I choosing to not see my power, my strength, whatever it is? But going within allows you to see what is real in front of you. And why it's important to do that is so that you can let go of what it is that you thought you once understood and step into what you do now understand, okay? So we're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book, Silence. 44. Wow, this is such a powerful message. 44 is all about stability here, okay? When we're talking about that, the instability, something right now is very volatile around you, and it's very unstable, okay? It's just like when a car is going 200 plus miles an hour, the metal is very volatile. If it were to hit something, it would affect the whole car, not just the part that got hit. Versus if you're going 5 miles and you hit something, like, yeah, there might be a dent, but it doesn't affect the rest of the car, right? So I know this is such a weird analogy, but that's what they're showing me right now, right? So things are very volatile. It's like moving at high speeds. And if something goes awry, it feels almost as though you're not going to return from it, but you are. That's why Source is saying to go into the silence, into this place. You're going to find peace from within, okay? So I'm going to read this to you. And with a master number 44 coming out, right? Strength, structure, stability. Your stability is not what's going on outside. Your stability comes from in. It's not finances. It's not home. It's not a car. It's not a job. That is not stability. That is the illusion of stability. True stability comes from having connection with ourselves and being grounded and rooted in ourselves in this moment. So it says, be still. Take the time to move into a silent place within yourself. Locate your internal source of power. In silence, you'll find your sacred witness. It's the dwelling place of the soul. Your spirit loves the truth, and in peace, you can seek and discover your truth. If you're in pain, wow, and we were talking about the broken heart. Oh my gosh, what an amazing confirmation. Not that you're in pain, but just how it's all coming back around full circle. If you're in pain, go into it until you find the source so it can be healed. Move past the bustle and chatter of life into sweet quietude and surrender to stillness. Resist the temptation to indulge in feelings of overwhelm, urgency, and emergency. Your power is born in silence. Seek solitude to listen to the inner voice of your higher self and awaken your inner wisdom. This peace gives birth to your serenity. Wow, that is incredible. And your affirmation is, I am serene no matter what is occurring around me. And I feel like this is perfect for you. So if you felt like this was your reading, leave the little swan emoji down below and say, I am serene no matter what is occurring around me, so you can claim this energy and this healing that's coming for you. And that's what I see here for you today, pile number 3. What a powerful message to come through for you. If you felt like it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I'd like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredibly powerful message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Uranus on it, or if you're drawn to this piece of amethyst, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on information that you secretly need right now. First, I want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently around here, so with that in mind, if the messages do happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And I do just want to point out that this could be in regards to a situation, work, this could be friends, family, whatever. It could be anything in your life that this is referring to. And this is just information that's coming in that should be confirming your intuition, okay? So let's go ahead and hop to it and find out. For pile number 3 source, what is the information they secretly need to know right now? What is the information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know? Would you like to say to pile number 3 source? Information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know. I was getting a channel message from you. Let me see if it'll come back through. So there's like this energy of powerfully growing, and that some people have tried to stop you, or maybe have tried to, you know, bring magic against you, and you've been wondering about that. And I feel like this is confirming that yes, there were indeed people who tried to use magic to keep you from growing, but they didn't realize that, you know, intention is everything, especially if you're using spells or whatever, you know, like intention is everything. So if you're going into it with an evil intent or with an awful intent, depending on how you look at it, right? 'Cause necessarily, I don't really believe in evil personally, but I do believe that there is bad intention, right? And so I just think that if somebody was going in it with bad intention, there's this energy that's coming through where it's gonna whiplash back to them, right? It's just gonna land back on them. So they didn't realize how protected you were, or how grounded you are. That's another thing that's coming through here. It's like you emptied your vessel of the darkness and you're now a being of the light. And it doesn't mean that darkness doesn't exist within you. It's that you have learned how to integrate that into your being and into your life. So I'm not sure what that has to do with the secret or the information that you secretly need to know right now, but that was the message that was coming through. So we do have, oh, interesting. We've got the North Node. Wow. Okay. We've got Pisces energy, and we've got the 9th house. Yeah, so very spiritual energy coming through right away. You could also do spells and magic, manifestation, you know, the law of attraction, whatever it is, right? This is energy where it's like you're using your knowledge to create a better life for yourself and trusting in your intuition. But I do feel like there was times when you've been hit with a lot of heavy energy. And even though we would love to blame that on everyone else, like, oh, that's magic users, they're coming up against me, that's everybody that wants to see me fail. And it doesn't mean that that wasn't exacerbated by those people, but mostly that's just because there was that energy that already resided within us, and we were having to face it. And they actually expedited it for you, if anything, right? They actually like expedited that coming to the forefront so that you could face it and that you could heal it. And knowing that it takes time and patience to heal anything that we've gone through in our lives. But you are walking your path and you're owning your path. And I feel like more and more as you continue down this path, you are far exceeding those people who wanted to see you fail, and they don't know how to keep up with you, and they're scared because they see you coming into a very abundant time in your life, and now they're scared because they really thought that they had the power to keep you or prevent you from getting that, to prevent you from experiencing that. And if you're determined, no one's gonna stop you. And so we'll see what this has to do with the information that you secretly need to know. But I just feel like Source is telling you with this, your path to spirituality, your path to learning, your path to gaining a greater knowledge about yourself and the things around you. This is everything that you've been meant to do up until this point. So if you've ever been questioning or wondering whether or not you did the right thing, the answer is simple. It's yes. You did exactly what you were called to do. And even if it felt wrong at the time, like, you were able to pivot into something that was more beneficial for your journey and alignment. But I do also feel like this could be connecting with people who are in this similar energy as well, like who are also walking their path. But let's see what comes out with the tarot. So Source, what is the information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know today? What does pile number 3 secretly need to know today? There's someone here who has a problem with your authority, your ability to command reality, but also your ability to inspire and influence other people. What is the information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know today? Remember, this is on the DL, so this should be confirming intuitive notions that you've been receiving. That could be an Aries. Also, Aries energy is coming in really strongly. It's funny because it's funny that it came back up. Right before I got ready, I have 2 sets of this color dice, and the green dice, which is the zodiac dice in this particular set, I put it on the table and it rolled and it rolled and it rolled and it rolled off of the table over there onto the seat, and it just landed on the seat. And when I got up to pick it up, it was on Aries. And that's interesting that Aries energy is coming back through once again. So funny. So it could be that you're an Aries, or that you're dealing with an Aries that's like that. A lot of aggression energy coming through as well, right? God of War energy. So Source, what is the information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know today? Okay, thank you. Yeah, someone who is overbearing and wants to have you under their control. Wow. What is the information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know today? Okay, we've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse. What is the information that pile number 3 secretly needs to know today, Source? Oh, they want it the other way. My bad, I got you. Okay. Thank you. Alright, Source. What is information that pile number 3 needs to know today? Okay, thank you. Thank you for making it clear. On the bottom of the deck, yeah, we have the 8 of Swords. Ooh, you've got someone in their feels. This is someone who's worried, like they are worried. Okay, next level scared that you're gonna succeed at whatever it is that you set out to do. This could be school, getting a degree, becoming a lawyer, becoming someone who does something spiritual and makes money at it. This could be owning your own business. This could be just becoming well known for being a philosopher. This could be just someone who's a healer, whatever it is. Okay, there's so many things that are flying around right now. Whatever it is, this person is deeply terrified that you're gonna make it. It leaves them feeling all kinds of different things. And the more you grow and the bigger you become, the smaller they feel and the more they lash out. This is someone who cannot stand the fact that you could potentially be doing better than them. But this is also equally someone who's not willing to take the steps to become a better version of themselves. This is someone who resides in a low vibrational energy, and they're perfectly happy being in that low vibrational energy. But also I do feel like you being in your North Node energy, whether this is family or someone close to you, they are deeply triggered by you being in your power. This could be someone who benefited from you being in a low vibrational energy at some point, or feeling small at some point. So this is someone who has a problem with deep authority. Yeah, really. They feel like it's unfair. Like they're the ones who deserve what it is that you're getting, right? But this is what they're not seeing, is that you really deeply love what it is that you're doing. For them, they feel like you're just fooling everybody, or you're just pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. It's almost like they're trying to convince themselves and they're trying to convince others that you're manipulating everybody. And what they're missing, because they're so blindsided by the fact that you're in your power and they want to make you feel small again, they're missing the fact that you're passionate about what it is that you're doing. So this person is actually missing out on the truth, because to them they feel like, oh, it's unfair. Like, how could you ever get success doing something that's seemingly not like work, right? So maybe you're an artist And, you know, people are like, oh, the starving artist, that's a whole thing, right? But for you, you're not a starving artist, right? You're actually making it, and you're becoming something, and you're able to take care of yourself and support yourself. But that's where you're headed, right? And that's something that really irritates this person, because it's like they maybe also forced it on you that you were the starving artist, or they wanted you to believe in that because they wanted that to be true. There's like some kind of element here about getting a real job. That's interesting that that's coming through, which is so weird, because if some of you are going to school, that degree is going to go towards getting a real job. Like if you're becoming a doctor or higher education or something like that, or like if you're a philosopher and you want to be a professor in a college or even a high school teacher, whatever it is, right? Like that's a real profession. It's something that you love, and it's interesting because for them, because it's never been in their radar for them to actually do that, they don't see that as a real job or as real work. And again, it could be something that you're doing like divination. It could be that you are an inspirational motivational speaker. You could be a health coach. You could be, okay, there's tons of energies coming in here. But it's like for them, when they see what you're doing, there's nothing in them that says, oh, that's a real job, right? But who are they to say? You know, work is work at the end of the day. Why not find something you're passionate about? Wow, this person's really in their head. Yep. Okay, Aries energy once again. So this is the thing, like this person tried to strangle the approach to whatever it is that you're doing. Like they did their best to make, like turn people against you. They did their best to put you in some awkward situations. They did their best to make it seem like you were not successful at what it is that you're doing. Like this is someone who either greatly opposed it and would say how stupid it is, or how this, or how you're not really good at it, or how dare you try to do that, like it's just a waste of your time. Or for others of you, this is the person who whenever they would ask about it and you would talk about it, they would just say nothing at all. Like they'd pick up their phone while you were talking about it, or they would just distract themselves with other things, or they would immediately cut you off and start talking about something that they want to talk about. Like, why the heck ask me if you don't even want to know, right? And I feel like this is don't cast pearls before swine, right? Like this is that energy. It's like for a while, maybe you were casting out your pearls before swine and not realizing that they were swine until all of a sudden it became very clear that they did not care about you. But I feel like what Source is saying here, and you might very well resonate with the collective message at the beginning of the reading, which is timestamped down below as well if you feel called to watch it. But I do feel like Source is saying like there's a celebration that's coming for you, and this person's almost like their karma for their intentions, whether that was them performing magic against you, whether that was them just trying to get you to slip off your path, trying to get you to feel like you didn't belong, or like you weren't deserving of what it is that you're doing, or like, well, that's not for you to be successful in because you're not other people. You know, people are like, oh, you can't be a successful senior because you're not Martina McBride. And it's like, yeah, but there's always going to be a next Martina McBride. I know, country, right? No, but it doesn't matter. You could be, you know, Nora Jones, or you could be Aretha Franklin, or, you know, whatever. It does. I don't know why all women are coming through, but you get my point, right? Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be a next. There's always going to be a next. Like, even after you've had your time, there's going to be someone next after you. Like, it's not just those people, right? There's always going to be a next. And this is what this person can't see. Even though it's right in front of their eyes. It's right in front of them. They're so blinded by their jealousy, their anger, their hurt, their pain, their suffering that they've been through, and saying, oh, it's not fair that pile number 3 gets to have a reason to celebrate in this life because they've never experienced anything like what I've experienced. But how would they know when they can't even sit still long enough to actually be present with you when you're answering a question that they've asked? They've made it perfectly clear that they don't care. And so the information that you secretly need to know is just being aware of this and Source confirming this for you. but also confirming that with the Queen of Wands right here, that there is something that is shifting for you, that you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're good looking, you're shape-shifting before people's eyes, right? So if you've been really working on your health, like your health is starting to shine through, your skin is glowing. Okay, you're very dewy looking, right? Like, oh, you're so dewy. You could be 70 years old and looking like you're 30, okay? Like, that's what this is. And I'm not saying you're 70 years, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't look your age. You look really young for your age. And people are baffled, like, when they find out your age, they're like, what? And it's like, because you've done the healing. You've done the inner child healing. So this person is jealous on many levels. They want to be you. They want to look like you. They want to do the things that you do. They want to have a quote-unquote leisurely life like you do. But what they don't recognize or realize, Pile 3, is that your life has been anything but leisurely. It's hard work to heal. No matter who you are, confronting ourselves and the things we don't like about ourselves and the things that we've hidden and locked away, thinking that we would never, ever open those doors again, that's hard. That's probably harder than back-breaking laborious work. And that's why people would choose to do back-breaking laborious work rather than face their inner demons. Because facing their inner demons, it just is too uncomfortable. You know, it's interesting. I saw this excerpt from this show once. What was it? Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the show. But they had these ice baths out there, and it was like a little get-together for the women. And one of the girls, she refused to get into the ice bath. But they were talking about, you know, how she refused to open up about her feelings to anybody. Like, she was not... It's a reality show. Gosh, I can't. It's been so long since I've seen it, but they just showed me the image in my mind right now. And so, what they're saying is, like, she was completely adverse to being vulnerable, and so part of doing the ice bath was allowing yourself that chance to be in an uncomfortable situation, so that you could open up to that vulnerability and share those parts of yourself with others. This is like someone who's watched you do an ice plunge in the Arctic, stock naked, and they're over there with a cup of hot tea, wrapped up in their blanket, sitting in front of a fire with a heater underneath the blanket. And they're like, I deserve to have the life that Pile 3 has, and the resilience that Pile 3 has. And like, how can they do that by doing the ice plunge? Like, I would never do that, but I deserve to have it. I could never do that, right? Like, that's like, this person just feels so entitled to what it is that you have, but they're not willing to do the work. And I feel like you've known this for a while. Like, there's always this energy comes up every once in a while on my channel for sure. And so this could be like a new group of people who need to hear this, just need to be reminded that don't let this person get you into your thoughts, because you're taking inspired action with the Queen of Wands here. You're taking inspired action, and you're sitting on, and I feel like what you secretly need to know, the information you secretly need to know, is that you're sitting on a wealth of money, success, and people knowing you, right? Like inspiration and motivation here. But not sharing that with them, because this person is going to do everything in their mind. Like, this is someone who would spend your money for you, right? This is someone who would make you feel like, oh, that's no big deal. There's other people who are better than you. You know what? Who cares? Of course, there's other people who are better than them too, but don't bring that up, because, whew, that's going to cause a fight. Right? So this is just that energy where it's like, let this person believe whatever the hell, excuse me, I don't usually curse, it just came out. But yeah, let them believe whatever they want to believe. Let them believe it. Right? Because they're in a very negative place. They're in a very stifling and suffocating place in their life. And their main focus, instead of saving themselves, is by being conceited, arrogant, and entitled when it comes to you, thinking that they deserve everything that you have. They're a knight in the reverse coming up against a Queen of Wands, who is like the one queen that I wouldn't want to deal with anyways, like in her power, because she's got this massive wand. She's just gonna bonk you on the head to get out of the way. Like, look, get out of my way, right? She's a little bit more vicious than the Queen of Coins. Maybe not quite as vicious as the Queen of Swords. Maybe not quite, but she's definitely someone who you wouldn't want to make mad, right? Like you just wouldn't want to. And I'm not saying that that's the energy that we should all be in, right? But that's just it. It's like, okay, cool. If you won't get out of my way, let me bonk you on the head with my stick, and I'm just gonna move around you. And that's the energy here that Source wants you to be in. So the information you secretly need to know is that this person just feels all kinds of different ways about you, and whether it's family or not, like it could just be co-workers, it could be anybody, it could be friends, it could be old acquaintances, it could be people you don't even really know. But this is people who they don't want to get to know you, so therefore they don't know what you've had to do to get to where you are, right? So we have Gemini here. Curiosity, intellect, and networking. Yeah, so they're mad because you're networking. You're building a network of people who are supportive of you. And I feel like that's also phasing this person out, or these people out, like phasing out needing them in your life. Not that you needed them anyways. We already see you turning away and moving on from them. We see that, right? But this is that energy where it's like, now I really don't need you. Like, I'm being supported by people who care about my success and care about me. Yeah, Sagittarius, optimism, exploration, and freedom. You're coming into a more optimistic time in your journey as well. So if you've been feeling it, it's been real heavy for you. Source is saying like there's a new optimistic journey just around the bend up ahead. It's gonna be really good. We've got presence of absence. Oh my gosh. Hold what is absent in the presence of your love. And it's interesting because this card talks about like if you're only just thinking about what you coulda, woulda, shoulda had, right? Or coulda, woulda, shoulda wanted, you're losing this present moment. And that's what this card really talks about. So it's like this person has a lot of memories of who they could have been, but they never took the effort to get there, right? It was too much. It's too overwhelming. And so all they have are memories of it. And they see you actually doing what you want to do. It's not a memory. It's becoming a reality for you. Okay, thank you. Wow, we have Sun God and Ezra. With free yourself from lies and deception and live your truth. Yeah. What did I say? Like, you're really passionate right now. You're on fire. Like, I would not want to mess with you right now because, look, you're just going to burn people. It's like, look, I'm going to light you on fire and you're either going to burn down into ashes and rise again, or you're just going to burn down into nothingness. And that's not my problem, but that's not going to stop me from being me. So shine in your own light. Other people's truths are of no use to you. Yeah, exactly. And you know, like when we think about rising again from the fire, we think about how uncomfortable that is. So there's something here that you did that was incredibly uncomfortable that this person is not capable of doing. Like they're just not, or these people, it could be multiple people. It does feel like one person just because of the Knight of Swords, but again, take it as it resonates. This could be a whole bunch of people around you, right? Could be an Aquarius, a Libra, a Gemini around you. You could be a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, Aries, Pisces, Sagittarius. We have Namatona with safe space, right? So you've created this safe space for you. And that's what I feel like, whatever it is that you're doing, it may appear that you're lazy to other people who don't recognize that you found peace. Peace looks like laziness to people who don't know what peace is. That's cool. Let them think. If you think I'm lazy, cool, go ahead. More power to you, because at the end of the day, my peace is priceless for me. And I feel like that's where you're at. It's like, I'm going to stay in my peace because that's the only thing that matters to me here. So reminding yourself that wherever this person is coming from, or wherever these people are coming from in this situation, that it just doesn't stand up to the power that you're exuding. We've got secrets, wow, to come out in this reading, huh? With links on the bottom. Number 2, there's a lot of duality here. I feel like this person is trying to appear mysterious and secretive. Like they're really trying to appear this way. Rather, they're just appearing as arrogant and self-centered. That's what they're appearing as. Is someone who, when you're not giving them the attention they want, they kind of throw a fit, right? This is someone who, when they see you succeed or when something good happens to you, they throw a fit. Like this is a toddler in an adult body. Or this is a toddler in an adult situation. Okay, like that's what this really feels like. And so they're thinking, oh, I'm so secretive. I have secrets from pile 3. And pile 3, you're over here like, good for you. Hold on to your secrets, because I really don't give. What is that? Frankly, my dear, I just don't give a damn. That's what it feels like, and you shouldn't. Why should you? That's theirs to hold on to. You've got stuff that you're worried about, that you're focused on, but when you don't focus on the fact that they're being all mysterious and like, oh, I've got secrets, and when you're not asking them what's going on, so that they can be like, oh, nothing. Not that I would share with you. Oh, nothing. You know, when you're not doing that, they're like, how dare they? They don't ask me about my secrets that I don't have. Because why? Why does it matter? If you're going to tell me, you're going to tell me. If you don't, you don't. Why should I go out of my way to try and figure it out? That's like people, you know, like when you're in your unhealed state and like you want to know what's wrong with someone, you say, what's wrong? And they're like, oh, nothing. But you know something's wrong with them. And when you're unhealed, you just keep asking them over and over again, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Why won't you tell me? What's wrong? What's wrong? And it's like they want you to do that. And then finally they tell you what's wrong. But then when you heal, you're like asking them, what's wrong? I'm here for you if you need to talk. And they're like, oh, nothing. You're like, okay, cool. And you walk away and that person's like, why aren't they asking me 100 times? It's because, why? Why am I going to waste all this energy? I gave you the opening. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. I'm not going to force you to take it. Run away. Yeah, get away, keep away, give up. Yeah, this person is trying to run away from themselves. You're triggering them in a weird way. Not in a bad way, but in a weird way. Yeah, look, we've got between the lines, hidden meaning, vague, speculate, and implicit. So right now you're like in the in-between space. So they can't really put their finger on where it is that you're at, but they're trying to bring you back to this low vibrational place. All right, so on the bottom, yeah, we've got healing. But see, you're healing. You're healing your wounds, you're improving, you're mending, you're on the progress here. So Source is saying, the information that you secretly need to know right now is that there's definitely a celebration that's coming. And I feel like that's been true for all 3 piles. And if you've watched all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below. That's for my Purple Heart Club. And just say I made it. I know what that means. I really do appreciate it if you spend the whole reading with me. That means a lot. And even if you don't and you're here for pile 3, thank you for your time and your energy. It means the world to me. So we have distorted desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. So they're thinking that if I stop pile number 3 from succeeding, then I'll be satisfied. But that's the problem. As soon as if they were to ever stop you, as soon as that were to happen, they would be unsatisfied with something else that either you were doing or someone else in their life was doing. So this person will never be satisfied by other people giving up on their dream. Because the only satisfaction that this person can get is if they go within. Metatron and Estania, with be sincere and fearless, there is no point in pretending or changing yourself for other people. Yeah, exactly. Be fearless. Be fearless. Be yourself. Be who you are. We have Thoth. Okay, divine masculine. This could be a divine masculine. You could be the divine masculine. Okay, take it as it resonates. But we have divine masculine. I feel like this is toxic masculinity that we're dealing with. Okay, and the other thing here with divine masculine and Thoth coming through is that you're in the place of healing that divine masculine within, which when you're in a healed state of masculinity, and if you're going against somebody who's in a toxic masculine state, it's very touching on their ego, right? Because masculinity is tied to our ego. And so they're really, very much feeling like you're taking a personal shot at them when you're not. You're just standing up for yourself, as anybody would that is in a healed state if they were getting attacked in the way that you've been getting attacked by this person or this situation or whatever this is, or whoever this is. You're just doing what any healed person would do, but they're taking it very personally. And so I feel like they're really lashing out right now. Yeah, again, something about walking through the flames here. We have a rhinoceros with moderation. We have that same image. Look at that with this card here. This same image. You're being born again. Oh gosh, I don't even remember the channeled message. Didn't I say like you're integrating the dark and you're becoming an embodiment of the light? Didn't I say that at the beginning? I think I did for you. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It was it came in so powerful. I can't even remember it. That's crazy. It's a moment, in the moment thing. That happens all the time. But there's this energy where it's like you're being reborn, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it because it's just meant to happen. Yeah, and you're finding your freedom. Oh, I love this. Yeah, you're going through this portal, right? You're moving on. You're moving on from this situation. You're moving on from this person, these people. You're moving on from whatever this is. You're moving on, and they don't need to know that. I feel like they're feeling it, but they don't need to know that you're actually getting an opportunity to move on. Something big is shifting for you here. We've looked for investigation, explore, and search. They're going to be looking for you because they're going to be missing you. Wow. But this is the justice. This is divine justice coming in with law here. Lawyer, judge, and police. And didn't I say someone here might be going to school to study and being a lawyer, or you become a lawyer? And someone was saying that's not a real job. Why is it not a real job? You know what? The way I see it, if you make money at it, it's a job. That's it. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is, if you make money at it, it's a job, right? It could be a career, it could be anything, but that's real work, right? If you're making money for it, and even if you're not making money for it, it's just something you want to do, that doesn't make it any less meaningful. But there's someone here who thinks that just because you took this route, or they're thinking that you're arrogant because you took this route. You know what? Look, you have a right to be not arrogant, but grounded in self, knowing that you deserve to be respected and seen. If you went to school long enough to be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever, and even if you didn't go to school, you still deserve that. Okay, but this feels like a message specifically for someone who went to school to be in the justice side of things, okay, whatever that is. It's like they don't respect you for the fact that you went to school and you put forth all this effort. They think that it just fell into your lap. Hello, has anybody seen the bar exam? That is not easy. That is one of the hardest tests you might take in life if you choose to go that route, right? Even for a doctor, like there's so much stuff that you have to do to become a doctor. It's not just like, oh, here you go, here's your degree. So yeah, there's something here. And even if it's not, like even if you learned how to do divination, or if you're doing healing, or whatever it is, you could become a contractor, or you're building something, there's so much work that goes behind it, and people don't see you putting in that work and effort. And so there's this automatic belief that, oh, it's just falling into your lap. Like you didn't have to work for it. 33:33 on the clock. Like, oh, whatever. It's super easy for you. It's like, no, it wasn't. So remember to respect yourself as well, pile 3, for the amount of effort that you put in, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Okay, so we have date, courting, dating, anniversary, meetup. So this could be someone that you're dating, but also this is an energy coming in that I feel like information that you secretly need to know is that there is a potential date in the future, and to remember to respect yourself. Like that's the message really coming through for you, pile 3, is respect yourself. Truly respect yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will, okay? So we're going to take a look at this card for you. I'm going to read this from the book. What do we got? Wow, adventure. You got the number 4 card. Strength, structure, stability. Okay? Yeah, you're building something that's very stable, and it's taking a long time. You can't become whatever it is that you want to become overnight, but I feel like some people, they just see a finished product and they think that, oh, you just sprung up out of the ground like that. Like, no, not really. It says take risks. You're entering new frontiers in a period of expansion. Go beyond self-imposed limitations. Look at the world around you in new and different ways. Something exciting is just around the corner. And didn't I say there's celebration just around the corner? We said it was just around the bend. Didn't I say that? I'm pretty sure I said that. Adventure entails risks, and without them, existence can become stagnant and lackluster. If your life seems uninspired in some areas, be willing to take chances and try something new. Don't wait until amazing opportunity presents itself. Start with small adventures. Excuse me. My apologies. And they will create momentum for bigger and bolder ones. Try changing your hair color or style. Drive a different way to work. If you're shy, walk up to a stranger and start talking. If you take enough small risks, soon your life will become a great grand adventure. And I can't make this up. It's on page 22, which is awesome. Adventure. And your affirmation is wonderful new experiences fill my life. It's so weird that I yawn so loud, but I feel like that was a confirmation. Like, it's okay for you to be adventurous. I get that sometimes. My body will respond in various different ways as confirmation. So, and don't be afraid to like let it out. There's something here you need to let out. You know, like oftentimes that happens during yoga. If you practice yoga, you'll know what I mean. But like, you'll be in a pose, and if you do yin yoga especially, like you'll be holding a pose for a while, and all of a sudden you're like 2.5 minutes into holding this pose, and you'll let out this just like it just comes out, and you're like, whoa, what the heck was that? Right? And so that's like a spiritual release. And so I feel like with the yawn that I just had, that's confirming that there's something here that you're spiritually releasing, which is going to inspire you to tap into your inner child and make life fun once again. And to do that, it's just going to be reminding yourself to respect yourself and respect your boundaries as well. Like, you don't owe anybody anything, okay? So this is what I see here for you, pile number 3. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little the scales of justice down below and write this affirmation: wonderful new experiences fill my life. If you felt like this resonated for you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message for you today. Until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.